February 2026, Catalina Foothills, Arizona. A quiet, peaceful night shattered by a disappearance that no one saw coming. Nancy Guthrie, a beloved 84-year-old mother, vanishes without a trace. No alarms, no struggle, just silence. What followed was a chilling investigation that would uncover a web of lies, dark secrets, and shocking twists. Stay with me. This case is so unsettling, you might not want to finish it alone. In the early hours of February 1st, 2026, the unthinkable happened in the peaceful neighborhood of Catalina Foothills. Nancy Guthrie, mother of NBC's Savannah Guthrie, simply vanished from her home. Her disappearance was sudden, and there was no sign of forced entry, no indication of struggle. No one heard anything, just eerie silence and the unsettling feeling that something terrible had taken place. The feeling of absolute helplessness settled in. Imagine the feeling, waking up to the news that your beloved mother, an innocent elderly woman, has disappeared with no leads, no answers, no phone calls, no warning. For Savannah Guthrie and her family, this was their nightmare coming to life. The world suddenly felt like it had stopped turning, and they were trapped in a nightmare where the clock seemed to be ticking faster and faster without any solution. Each passing moment felt like an eternity, with the chilling uncertainty eating away at every shred of hope. As Savannah desperately tried to hold it together for her family and millions of viewers, she became the voice of the search. In an emotional appeal, she stated, "We just want to know she's alive. Please, if anyone knows anything, come forward." Her vulnerability hit hard, a nationally recognized figure, stripped of her usual poise, now standing in front of the world, pleading for help. Her usually composed presence was replaced by raw, desperate emotion. It was a side of Savannah no one had ever seen before, and her pain resonated deeply with the public, breaking the hearts of all who were watching. What followed next shook the world. Weeks passed, and then a new horror emerged. Ransom notes began to surface. But these weren't ordinary demands. These were Bitcoin ransom demands, leaving law enforcement scrambling. Who would demand payment in cryptocurrency for a kidnapping? Could a criminal mastermind be using digital anonymity to pull the strings of this twisted crime? And more disturbingly, was Nancy even still alive? The notes seemed to be from the perpetrators, but the investigation soon revealed a darker truth. Some of the notes were fake, leading to even more confusion. This new layer of deceit only made the case more complicated, and the hunt for answers became even more urgent. Could this be a sick joke, or was someone really orchestrating a brutal crime from behind a digital mask? The false hope and endless questions seemed to multiply.
Every lead seemed to go cold until a mask-wearing figure was spotted on surveillance footage. In the dead of night, he was seen moving around Nancy's home, but still, no answers, no clues, just an image that left more questions than solutions. Could Nancy be alive? Was she being held against her will? And if so, by whom? The chilling feeling of helplessness spread quickly among investigators and the public as the footage revealed no identity and no certainty. It was as if the mystery grew tighter and the noose of uncertainty was suffocating all those involved. The mystery grew deeper as investigators turned to those closest to Nancy, those who should have been the ones to protect her. Christopher Collings, a family associate, suddenly found himself at the center of the investigation. He claimed to have helped search for her, but there was something off about his demeanor. His actions seemed strangely detached, almost like he wasn't emotionally invested in finding her. Suspicion grew rapidly as inconsistencies appeared. His story began to fall apart under questioning. And then, in a twist no one saw coming, Christopher's confession sent chills down the spines of anyone following the case. His admission was completely unexpected, but it felt like the truth was finally coming to light. The gravity of his confession shocked everyone involved, as it was a betrayal no one could have anticipated. Christopher confessed to having abducted Nancy. He claimed he had taken her from her home in the dead of night and was holding her captive. The details he provided were chilling, painting a picture of premeditation and cold intent. The twisted confession revealed even darker details. Ransom demands were meant to cover up the crime, but they weren't genuine. The true motive was something more terrifying than anyone imagined, a betrayal of trust that no one could have ever predicted. What could possibly have driven him to do such a thing? What did he have to gain? And perhaps most terrifying of all, was anyone else involved? Or was this a crime born out of one man's twisted mind? But just when investigators thought they had the full picture, Christopher's story became even more complicated. He implicated others, including family members, but his conflicting statements raised doubts about who was truly responsible for Nancy's disappearance. Was he the sole perpetrator, or was he part of something larger? The uncertainty intensified as the investigation grew more convoluted by the day. And then, the most chilling detail of all, Nancy Guthrie's body has never been found. Despite all the confessions, the clues, and the intense media scrutiny, Nancy's fate remains unknown. What happened to her that night? What exactly was her fate? These unanswered questions continue to haunt investigators and the public alike. How could someone just vanish without a trace, leaving no final piece to the puzzle? Why this case stands out. This case isn't just a missing person story, it's a case that grips at the very core of our humanity. A family lost in an abyss of uncertainty, a celebrity figure forced to grapple with an unimaginable tragedy in front of millions, and a community that has been left stunned by the sheer mystery surrounding it all. What makes this case so gripping is the combination of personal heartbreak and the baffling mystery that surrounds it. As of March 2026, the investigation remains open, but with no arrests, no confirmed sightings, and no closure for the Guthrie family. The case has garnered international attention, but answers remain elusive. What happened to Nancy Guthrie? Where is she? And who is behind this terrifying mystery? These questions haunt not only the family, but the nation itself. Every update adds to the suspense and leaves the world wondering, could this still be solved, or will it forever remain one of the greatest mysteries? This case isn't just about Nancy, it's about the silent fears we all carry. What if someone close to us could disappear without a trace? What if it happened to you, and you were left with no answers? The sheer helplessness felt by those searching for her makes it even more disturbing. It reminds us of our vulnerability, of how even in the most secure places, danger can silently slip in. What would you do if someone you loved vanished? Would you know who to trust or where to turn? If you found this story chilling, don't stop here. Hit like and subscribe to dive deeper into more real-life mysteries that will leave you questioning everything. Share this video with your friends to raise awareness, because Nancy Guthrie's story is far from over, and we may still have to live through even darker revelations yet. Don't forget, if you're watching alone, maybe it's time to turn on the lights.